we got a new one from Weezer off of their new album, Van Weezer. Not even sure if it's out yet. Anyway, a lot of guitar in this one, so let's get started. There's a lot of parts to go over, so here you go. Here's the intro. So in the beginning, there's a bunch of melody lines that the guitars play that sort of intermesh together. There's a whole bunch of guitars stacked in. I included 2 of the parts here. So here's the first part. The first 4 bars of one of them, we're doing octaves. So we've got the octaves here on strings 5 and 3. You're going to put your first finger on fret 5, string 5. Then you're going to put your ring finger or your little finger on string 3, fret 7. So keep your hand in this shape because it's very important that you keep it in this shape for the octave part. But then it goes up 2 frets to 7 and 9, where for 6 total beats, 3, 4, 5, 6, you got the E octave, then it scoots down again to D for 2 more beats. Now the other part, there's a couple of melody lines going on here, but I've included the one that's kind of moving around more. Starts on string 3, fret 7. It goes from string 3 to string 2, or you could slide it up to fret 11 on string 3. Which actually I think that's more of what they're doing, but in the tab you've got that other option too on fret 7 string 2. So down to fret 9, down to fret 6. So that whole part goes like this. Then the next 2 bars after that, it's going to go up to 9, 12, 11, 7. So we get so that's your first 4 bars of the intro. There's still 4 more left. So you're on the D octave, just like you were before. That's going to go for a whole measure. Then it's going to scoot down for a whole measure to 4 and 2. So it'll be then it goes up 2 frets to 4 and 6. Then ends on the 7 and 5 again. Back to the melody. Start on fret 11, that's an F sharp note. Goes all the way up to 14. And then there's a little bit of a rundown here. So that's fret 14, 12, 11, and 9. It goes. Then it stays on 9 to 11. Then it actually ends on a D note there. It's not in the tablature, but it's there. And then you've got this cool riff. It's like a pentatonic riff. If you know the B minor pentatonic scale, it's super, super easy. It just goes down the scale, but the tough part about it is the speed. So it starts on the end of the first beat. That's the first half. This goes down like that. A little speedier than that, but just play it at that pace for now. Nothing wrong with that. Now for the verse. Got a D. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's an A over C sharp. Then it goes down to B. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It goes A. 2, 3, 4. Last bit again. A for a whole measure. A, 2, 3, 4. And it's got that climb up right there. So again, the verse, D, 2, 3 to A over C sharp, and then B, A, 3, 4, and it goes back up there. Now we go on to the pre-chorus. This is where the palm mute comes in. We got a B power chord here, That's the first chord. It's B. So metal. So metal. Remember the palm mute technique? Put this part of your hand where the string meets the bridge. So you get that sound. And from there it goes up. That's A over C sharp. And then goes back up to D. So A over C sharp, D. All right. So one more time. At the end of the pre-chorus, you got that. Or it could be that as well. So you've got an E chord up here. Remember from the Sublime video? That's the same chord, but it's just used in a different way. So you could play that part like this. You could play it like this. All right, it doesn't really matter, but they're both E chords. So let's go over the verse one more time. Excuse me, the pre-chorus. Now on to the chorus. First 4 bars, we've got 2 bars of D, 2 bars of F sharp. Here we go. So the last 4 measures of this tune, then that's pretty much the whole song. There's variations on the intro. The intro comes back later, and in the solo section, offhand, what is it? I think the pre-chorus? I can't quite remember, but it's one of the parts that we've already gone over. And there's a solo very reminiscent of Fade to Black by Metallica. So for the last 2 beats of that 2-bar sequence, we've got the A over C sharp again. But in the meantime, the other beat, bar and a half, it's B. So it's 1, 2, like that. And then right back to D. Then the last 2, where it starts on D, that 2-bar sequence, you got a full bar of D, and then it's 2 other beats of D. Then you've got 2 beats of A. All right, so you got the last 4 bars of this. Starts on B5. And that goes a couple of times, so that actually leads back nicely into the B chord again. So Noise. And so there you have it. That's the new one from Weezer, and I'm sure there's more to come soon. I think the album was supposed to be released this week, but I've heard that this is like a teaser track, you know, for the actual album release. So I don't know what they're planning on doing. Bands don't always release full albums anymore. Sometimes they just do it 1 track at a time, like the Gorillaz are doing. And I'm sure I'll cover that new track too when that comes out. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I will see you next time.